Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Cheryl Spencer, a faculty in the nursing department, and we do this ceremony twice a year, but each one is completely different because our students and their stories are different. The students are about to come in. Welcome again. Audience, please stand for our national anthem and remain standing for the invocation. The national anthem will be led by our graduate, Christina Marie LaRocchia.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Christina. At this time, I'd like to call Dr. Carol Soto for the invocation.
To the class of 2016, I read to you a nurse's prayer. The author is anonymous. Dear Lord, thou great healer, may thy great strength and power flow through me and lend skill to my hands and vision, judgment to my mind, and compassion to my heart. Grant me the strength to minister to my patients in their hour of suffering and travail. Make me worthy, O Lord, of this saintly task, and may I faithfully discharge my duties in deep humility, worthy of the trust and faith placed in me. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Soto. Audience, please be seated. Graduates, please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce our president of our college, Dr. Diane Call.
Good afternoon, family and friends and faculty and graduates. You know, I look at this class of 2016 and each of you with incredible pride and with admiration, and I know those feelings are shared by your faculty. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Unique to the United States, community colleges represent opportunities for success in our society through access to higher education. And so many students come to Queensborough to realize that dream of a better life. Not only did you choose Queensborough, but you chose our nursing program, the most difficult we have, definitely. In any year, thousands of students aspire to be accepted to the nursing program, but fewer than 80 are taken into that first course, NU 101 of a 4-semester sequence. At times you must have seemed, this is absolutely impossible, but you earned your acceptance into 101, and your journey took several semesters, up to 4 semesters, and now 31 out of the thousands of students, out of the almost 80 students who began with you in NU 101, 31 of you have graduated. Ladies and gentlemen, they are as much survivors as graduates. And you share this triumph with your family, your friends, many of whom had to wonder, along with you, is this really worth it? You made great sacrifices, and your absences from the lives of your family and friends, I'm sure, were keenly felt. But it was worth it. It is worth it. Diversity is really quite a hallmark of our college, Queensborough, and you represent that diversity in many ways. In addition to coming from the United States, members of this graduating class come from all over the world: Africa, India, Pakistan, the Caribbean, Central America, South America, and Asia. And men represent 25% of this graduating class. 25%. There you go. The reason we're all applauding is because the national average is about 9%. So I know you've had some math, so you know that's pretty good, right? Yeah. Your academic beginnings were diverse as well. Some of you returned to school after working in other fields. Some of you returned after raising families. And over a third actually have a degree already in another field. However, you really do have more in common than you have differences. Your determination to realize your goal of service in the health profession, your persistence to move forward no matter what the challenges, and there were many. You have all made significant personal sacrifices to reach this point, and they were shared, those sacrifices, by family and friends. And as evident in your success, you have demonstrated incredible academic excellence. So you began not really knowing one another, but you did forge incredible partnerships and often special friendships with one another. And your classmates together studied theories, and you applied clinical knowledge in the context of real life and sometimes in death. And you developed strong personal and professional ethics. Most of all, you came to learn just how much you can and will make a difference in other people's lives. You experienced personal and professional growth, but surely each of you at some point had anxious moments, and you were probably uncertain at times, especially during those exams. Remember, don't ever change your answer. And perhaps sometimes there were moments of despair. And I know that you thought at some point, this is really quite impossible, but you did it. You were comforted by one another, by an extraordinary faculty who supported you every step of the way, and of course by your family and friends who are here with you today. Now, as graduates of Queensborough's nursing degree program, you are better prepared to engage in a world so marked by uncertainty and anxiety. So this afternoon is not an end, it's a commencement, which really does mean a new beginning. In the tradition of your profession, one of the most noble on the face of the earth, you will go on to acquire more knowledge and skills. You'll discover even greater strengths and talents in yourself. All of you plan to go on. I was very impressed with that. And almost half of this graduating class hopes to earn a doctoral degree. And in a few years, I'd like to see some of you sitting right here among your faculty colleagues. So through your journey, please remember to maintain the friendships that you've established here, to retain your curiosity and your openness to new ideas. Always, and I learned this from a previous chair of the nursing department, always take time for yourself. And please remember that Queensborough will be your family forever. Graduates, now you can look at yourselves, and rather than seeing your dreams as impossible, you can say, I'm possible. Congratulations, and best wishes for a great future.
Thank you, Dr. Call. At this time, I'd like to introduce Professor Anne-Marie Menendez, chairperson of the nursing department.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, graduates, families, and friends. This past November, I had the opportunity to attend the convention of the National Organization of Associate Degree Nursing. And actually, 6 of your faculty members presented their work there. It was a very proud moment for Queensborough nursing. The speaker for the opening session was Carolyn Jones, a photographer and filmmaker who is passionate about telling stories that shed light on pressing global issues. She has published 5 books, including Living Proof, Courage in the Face of AIDS. Ms. Jones has spent the past 4 years interviewing nurses from around the country and has documented her work in a book and film entitled The American Nurse. Ms. Jones' work was inspired by her personal story with breast cancer and the impact nurses had on her journey. At the conference, Ms. Jones showed a clip to an audience of hundreds of nurse educators from around the country. The film follows 5 nurses from the book along with their patients. Tonya Faust, with maximum security prison inmates. Jason Short, with home health care patients in Appalachia. Brian McMillan with soldiers returning from war, Naomi Cross with mothers giving birth, and Sister Stephen with nursing home patients at the end of their life. The film depicted some of the most challenging and intimate situations that nurses may encounter. Many of the seasoned nurses watching this video were teary-eyed. Ms. Jones challenged us to tell people that this is what we do as nurses. Today, as you leave Queensborough and continue on for your bachelor's degree and work in the profession, you will become part of the nursing story. Your encounter with your patients may change their lives. As Ms. Jones so eloquently states on her website, that encounter can mean the difference between suffering and peace, between chaos and order. I challenge you to be the nurse that brings peace and restores order. Godspeed and good luck, graduates.
Thank you, Professor Menendez. The students have asked Professor Janice Malloy to give the congratulatory address. Professor Malloy.
Good afternoon, graduates, distinguished faculty, family, and friends. It is my pleasure to present the congratulatory speech to the first graduating class of 2016. This class is an awe-inspiring group of young women and men, and it is truly my pleasure to address them. These students have worked tirelessly with great sacrifice and dedication, long days and late nights, right? The commitment and dedication will continue as they enter employment in the field of healthcare. The following are requirements on how to maintain their personal wellness and happiness during this exciting new beginning. A to Z, how to nurture the nurse. A, accept yourself. B, believe in what you do. C, change. It's inevitable. Brace it. D, discover something new every day. You will. E, empower yourself to always do the right thing. F, face your fears. They will go away. G, give generously. H, honor this noble profession that you have entered. I, indulge. You deserve it. J, journal your thoughts often. K, keep learning for yourself, for your patients, forever. L, laugh out loud, please. M, maintain your wellness. The patients need you. N, nurture your spirit of kindness. O, open your heart. P, pray often. Q, quiet your mind, especially after a difficult day. R, revisit, redefine, and re-examine your nursing practice often. S, smile at your patients. They're as nervous as you are. T, trust yourself. U, use your gifts and talents well. V, vent your emotions appropriately. W, my favorite, work hard, play hard. X, accentuate your positive. Y, yes to overtime. And Z, zest. Bring it with you each day you go to work. Please give them the heart, the hands, and the words to care for their patients. Help them to provide comfort and compassion at just the right time. When their day is over, allow them sufficient rest to keep them strong. The QCC nursing faculty hopes you all walk in with determination, have the gentlest of touch, share your knowledge, and always be there when the patient needs you. I have a very brief story. 2 weeks ago, 2 of my 5 family members were admitted to a hospital. Two clear-thinking, intelligent human beings were put into a situation where they were physically and emotionally upset. Who was there to help them? Not me. You guys, the nurses. If it wasn't for the nurse advocating for them, they would have been lost in the sea in healthcare. A huge part of your job is to advocate for the patient. You know that. Please don't forget, it's much better to be on our side than it is to be on the patient's side. And I will leave you with, every now and then you will meet a patient who changes your nursing practice. And if you're lucky, you'll meet one that'll change your life. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Professor Malloy. Well, you've heard the term the art of nursing. It's pretty clear. They're artistic. They can sing, they can tell stories, and they have the audacity to revise the alphabet. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. It's our candlelighting portion. And it's a very time-honored tradition. Before I start, I'd like to just have the audience just acknowledge the other nurses in the audience, my colleagues, and anybody else who's here as a nurse. Thank you. For those with small children, the lights are going to be dimmed, and sometimes that may be a bit frightening for the children. We understand that. Babies cry in dark can be frightening. So I welcome you to our candlelighting ceremony. Please, I ask you to keep your applause till the end. You've waited, some of you, 2 years, maybe more, 3, a long time for this moment. We want everybody to hear their name mentioned. You will get ample opportunity to applaud at the end. Thank you very much. The students have chosen the following faculty for pinning. Professor Janice Malloy, our artist, Professor Barbara Rome, Professor Jim Bentley, and Professor Margaret Stroline. Okay. The students have also chosen the following faculty for the candle lighting. Okay. Audra Maroney, who is our lab coordinator, Barbara Caravanos, who is our resource center manager coordinator extraordinaire. Thank you. Alan Alexander. Michael Boza. Shagun Ajiboye. Eric Danarine. Daphne Daniel. Kofo Thomas. Joseph Chung. Sudeep Palmar. Trevane Waldron. Brian Gallagher. Melissa Hirone. Christina Marie LaRocchia. Nicole Peters. Riley Bobchek. Alexandra Hannon. Laura Jean Sorrentino. Li Jiang Fu. Amy Meyer. Danielle Newman. Patty Iyer. Nancy Lubarsky. Helen Wu. Monica Tupas. Jennifer Yam. Tenzin Deki. Zerla Lau. Amrika Singh. Jana Jean-Louis. Catherine Padilla. Gurmit Kaur. Alexandra Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of January 2016. Thank you. The graduates will now recite the Nurses' Pledge. It will be led by 3 members of our outgoing Student Nursing Association, Jana Jean-Louis, Gurmit Kaur, and Catherine Padilla.
I will strive with all my being and with the help of God to become an open, honest, kind, and diversified individual. In doing so, I will attain the qualities essential in the practice of nursing. For it is only after realizing one's self-worth we are able to promote that of others. Deliverance of high-quality health care is of essential importance, but let us also reach beyond a treatment or diagnosis. And remember that entrusted to my care is a human being, with all the loves, hates, fears, and idiosyncrasies that are an integral part of the human species. Let me not grow too comfortable in my knowledge, but actively seek out new information or continuance of my education. Being a nurse requires continuous growth. I dedicate myself to this cause and my life to the profession of nursing.
Graduates, you may extinguish your candles. Can we get another applause? Graduates, you may be seated. At this time, the outgoing president of the Student Nursing Association, Alexandra Miller, will give her farewell address. Alexandra.
On behalf of the Student Nurses Association and the graduating class of 2016, I would like to welcome the President of Queensborough Community College, Diane B. Call, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Mr. Paul Marchese, Vice President of Student Affairs, Mr. Michelle Hodge, Vice President for Strategic Planning, Ms. Karen Steele, Nursing Chairperson, Anne Marie Menendez, family, faculty, and friends. I want to welcome you all to our candlelighting ceremony and pinning ceremony. Thank you for all being here today to join in this momentous occasion. It seems unimaginable that just 2 years ago we started this journey, and that these people on this stage with me today were just strangers. 4 semesters ago, we started nursing school, and it has been a roller coaster ride. I've even once heard, and I quote, "Nursing school is like riding a bike, except the bike is on fire, and you're on fire, and everything is on fire." It's true. Nursing school has certainly not been easy. We have been through so much together in the past 4 semesters. We've become like brothers and sisters. We've grown to rely on one another, not only for strength and encouragement, but for necessities such as sharing notes like the Chronicles of Malloy, reviewing test questions, sharing Google Drive documents, and of course giving one another emotional support too, when one of us was ready to throw in the towel. When you spend 20 hours a week with the same people for 17 weeks at a time, they become your second family. We all got to know each other pretty well. For instance, most of my classmates know that they can count on me to be wearing a pair of sweatpants to class with a coffee in tow. But Alex Hannon, we all know she drinks the most coffee. And we are still amazed at how many questions Trevane can manage to ask in a single lecture period. What I'm trying to say is that it has been a privilege and a pleasure getting to know my fellow classmates, and I'm honored to be standing on this stage with all of you, reflecting on all that we've accomplished. We have been trained and drilled by the best and toughest instructors in the state, and I know we are ready to put our knowledge, skills, and evidence-based practice into action. I would like to thank the nursing department faculty for your continued support, encouragement, knowledge, and passion. Thank you for your patience and guidance along our journey here at Queensborough Community College. We are grateful for your time, your hard work, and dedication. Without all of you, this would not be possible. You have taught us well, and that's why we're going to be great nurses. To our family and loved ones, thank you for being there for us throughout the years, giving your endless support. Without your love and understanding, we would not have made it. I would also like to take a moment to thank my loving family for your constant support. Thank you all for tolerating my mood swings, letting me block out the world for days on end to study, and listening to my gruesome hospital stories from clinical rotations. I don't think I'd be standing here without all of you. To my fiance, James, thank you for pushing me and believing in me. A big thank you to my fellow SNA officers, Gurmit, Sarah, Catherine, Jana, and Ellen. Thank you guys for dedicating your time and your baking skills to the entire student body. Thank you for pitching in and helping to make the semester and today a success. To my fellow nursing graduates, I am extremely proud of all of you. You are the creme de la creme of QCC's nursing program. I am excited to see where the road takes us. Some of us may enter the field right away as registered nurses, while others might be continuing on in their education. Wherever your journey takes you, I wish you all the best. May you remember all we have learned here at QCC and take with you the knowledge and skills that you acquired here and put them into your practice. May you each be blessed with health, happiness, and success. It has been a pleasure to serve as the president of the Student Nursing Association. On behalf of my fellow classmates, I would sincerely like to thank all of you in this room once again for being here and for your continued love and support throughout the years. It is because of all of you that we are standing here today. I'd like to end with a quote because I feel it captures the essence of nursing. Being a nurse means you will never be bored. You will always be frustrated. You will be surrounded by challenges, so much to do, so little time. You will carry immense responsibility. You will step into people's lives, and you will make a difference. Some will bless you, while others will curse you. You will see people at their worst and at their best. You will never cease to be amazed at people's capacity for love, courage, and endurance. You will see life begin, and you will see life end. You will experience resounding triumphs and devastating failures. You will cry a lot, you will laugh a lot, you will learn a lot, and you will know what it is to be human and humane. Thank you, and congratulations to the nursing graduates of 2016.
Thank you very much to the outgoing Student Nurses Association officer and my assistant, the new officer, Ms. Sarah Seckery. Thank you very much. Okay, this is the portion of the pinning ceremony. Again, I call the following faculty to come and assist us. Professor Janice Malloy, Professor Barbara Rome, Professor Jim Bentley, Professor Margaret Stroline. Graduates, please rise. ladies and gentlemen, again, the graduating class of January 2016. I'd just like to acknowledge a few people. This beautiful event would not be possible. Nursing, we're artistic, but we haven't conquered theater arts fully yet. So in the back, we have John and Mark, who have been instrumental. And I'd like to thank our pianist, Evan Klosser. And last but not least, 2 faculty members who have advised this wonderful group of students in the SNA, Professor Jim Bentley and Professor Nancy Kelly. It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much. The students ask you to step into the medical arts stairwell for some light refreshments. Have a wonderful day.